Hello, welcome to you all. I hope there's lots of you tuning in out there. My name's Shweta and I'm here at the London Buddhist Centre with my tech today, which is Gavra Bhakti, who's another yoga teacher here who you'll no doubt know. Yeah, sorry we're a little bit late tuning in. We must have been diving down towards that deep like the ocean, the title of our class today. It takes a while to dive down deep, so anyway, really good to see you, and do say hi in the chat box if you'd like to. Let us know where you're tuning in from.
Anna's saying hello.
Oh, Anna. Hello, Anna. If you've got mats and props, do get them, blocks if you need them.
John saying hello.
Hi there, John. Nice to see you. You've also been doing the intensive, so maybe you're doing 3 lots of yoga today.
And Jane.
Hi there, Jane. Yeah, really warm welcome to you all on this lovely autumn day. The sun is out, which is great.
Linda saying hello from Brighton.
Hi there, Linda from Brighton. Lovely, nice to see you. So we'll start in just a minute or so, just to give anyone who's running a little bit late an opportunity to slip in the door. And while we're here, I'll just say, do keep an eye on LBC's website. Look at the yoga activity, just so you know what's coming up in the yoga world here. We've got a beginner's course coming up in November. There's also a retreat, so do look out for those things. And also we're adding more live classes. So yeah, do look out for those. You need to book for all of those things. Okay, so wherever you are, just take a seat really, get some cushions or blocks to just sit on, and we'll just take a moment or two to arrive into our body, into the room, and onto our yoga mat. So just closing your eyes, if you feel comfortable to do that. And just have a sense of where you are in the world, in London, or somewhere else, Brighton, or another country. And then also have a sense of where you are, a bit closer to home, the room that you're in, the yoga mat that you're sitting on, and your body. So just tuning into the body, noticing sensations, movements, and just let your awareness roam around the landscape of your body. Just so you really get a sense of the territory and that landscape. And then let the awareness gather around your breath. Just notice the inhale and exhale. And then let's do a couple of longer exhales, so breathing in And exhaling with a bit of a sigh through the mouth. And another one like that, breathing in and out with a sigh. And do a couple more of those, breathing in and exhaling long through the mouth. Just noticing how that affects the body, how that affects your awareness. And then keep breathing like that, but closing the mouth. So breathing in and breathing out long, but keeping the mouth closed. So you can still do that inner sigh. And this is one of the ways that we can start to tune in to depth, to this sense of deep, like the ocean. But as we deepen our breath, we can move deeper into the body, letting the breath permeate the whole body. And try and keep a thread of connection with this breath as you practice, so that the breath can keep supporting your deepening awareness in the yoga. And then slowly opening your eyes. And we'll just start with a quiet pose, just to keep that breath going. So if you've got some support, you might want to lower it or not have it at all. And we'll just bring our feet together into butterfly pose. First of all, just sitting up, letting the weight drop down through the sitting bones. And then with a nice long back, you can start to come forward. You can let the chest round. Hold on to your feet or perhaps the shins, or you could even rest the elbows on the thighs. Again, really coming into this long exhale, this inner sigh. Two more breaths, really inhabiting the shape of the pose and having a sense of it. And being aware too of the space that you're taking up, the weight dropping down through the sitting bones, the soles of the feet in connection with each other. And wherever your hands are, feeling the connection that they have either with the ground or your legs or your feet. Two more breaths. And then slowly engaging the abdominals lightly, coming back up, bringing the hands to the outer knees, bringing the knees together, and then just lengthening out the legs, leaning back on your hands, and just feeling the sensations, and allowing the quietness of that pose to continue to permeate the body and the mind. So sometimes just giving ourselves a few quiet minutes at the start of a practice can really help us to arrive much more fully. And then when we begin to move a bit more, we're really present. So now coming on to tabletop, coming on to hands and knees, making sure the wrists and hands are under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And if you want to stretch your feet, you could untuck the toes so that the soles of the feet get a nice stretch. And then just doing a few cat-cows, so inhaling, lift the chest and sitting bones. Exhaling, rounding, dropping head and tail. So a few of these. And again, keeping this sense of connection with this long exhale. And also as you come to the exhale, really trying to sense right down into the bottom vertebrae of the spine, so that you're also bringing a little bit of mobility right down to the base of the spine. Just a few more breaths. Great, lovely. And then coming back to neutral, and I'm going to come into a twist. So we're going to lift our right arm towards the right, and then dive it under the left, and we'll do that 3 times, keeping the hips over the knees. Doing that 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, we're going to slide the arm all the way through the left, bringing our cheek and shoulder onto the ground. And first of all, just arriving in this shape, stretching the fingers, breathing, softening. And then if you want to, you could add something in here. So you could actually extend your left leg back a little bit, straightening that leg. You could also bring your left hand in front, so you can come a little bit deeper into this twist. It'll mean you'll need to balance on your foot and your knee. And you might not have done this pose before, but it's a really nice opener for the chest. It's a nice twist for the spine. But if that feels a bit sort of unstable, just bring the left knee back and just stick with the first option. Breathing here, you can walk your fingertips of the left hand further forward, if that feels okay. One more breath. Wonderful. And then walking the left fingers back, bringing the left knee in again, and then sliding the arm out, coming back to all fours. And let's do 3 cat-cows in between sides. And you'll probably really notice now that right side that we've just worked, I can feel the difference myself, so I'm sure you can. Last one. Great. And then back into neutral. Then we're going to do the other side, so lifting to the left, stretching that arm, twisting, diving the arm under the right arm. 3 times. And then letting the left shoulder and cheek slide onto the floor. And just finding some stability here. And then if you want to try just stretching the right leg back, so you come onto the ball of your foot, onto your toes, you can do that. You can also walk the right hand forward, so that you turn a little bit more towards the right, opening through the chest, twisting a little bit more deeply. But if you feel unstable, as I said on the other side, do just bring the knee back in. 2 more breaths. Stretching the fingers of the left hand. Great, and then you can walk the right hand back, bring the knee back, slide the left arm out, and come back onto all fours. And again, 3 more cat-cows. Last one. Really rounding the spine on this last one. And then back to neutral. And then let's come into downward dog. So tucking the toes, drawing the hips back, lifting the knees. And you can just walk out the legs a little bit here. So bending, straightening, alternate legs. Pressing the hands down and forward, really activating the base of the index finger. And trying to roll your shoulders and upper arms outwards from the inside. Gaze a bit more towards the belly. Let the head drop. And then for a little side stretch here, we can lift our heels and just come onto the balls of the feet and then bring the heels down towards the left. So just coming into a little side stretch and then come up onto the balls of the feet and bring the heels towards the right. Just doing that a few times. Last one, and then back into the downward dog. And then drop the knees, bring the chest forward and then lower down, scoop into a cobra, lifting shoulders and upper back. And then come down again. Let's do 3 little waves, so engaging the legs, pubic bone pressing down, lifting up. Release down, last one. Keeping the elbows close to the body if you can. And release. And then hands down, back through all fours into downward dog. Two more breaths here. And then let's walk our feet forward between the hands, take hold of the elbows, bend the knees. And just let the upper body release like a waterfall. And again, carry on with this long breath, long exhale. You can breathe the whole shape of the pose. You can breathe in through the feet, all the way up the legs, over the torso and back, down through the head and the arms and the hands. And then breathe in again through the feet, all the way over the body, down and out through the fingers and the crown of the head. And then we're going to slowly uncurl so you can let your arms dangle. You can slowly come up. Really Taking your time with this, you might even feel a bit lightheaded, so it's a good idea to go slow. Each bone in the spine stack like a beautiful necklace. Head coming last of all. And then standing tall, standing in Tadasana, palms facing forward. Taking 2 breaths here, feeling the chest and heart open, feet rooted and crown opening towards the sky. And let's come into some standing poses. So let's step back with our left foot and come into warrior 2. So edging our right foot forward if we need to create a bit more space. And then let's bring the hands onto the heart. Great. First of all, draw up some energy, some depth from the earth, or we could imagine from the ocean. And then radiate the arms out, looking along that middle finger. Breathing, softening. Breathing, softening. Keeping the stability in the feet and the legs. And then we're going to play a bit with the shape of our arms. So we're going to move from reverse warrior to side angle, Parsvottanasana. So we're just going to move the arms a bit and then we're going to stay in the poses for a little while. So we're going to just move the arms into reverse warrior and then let the arms move into Parsvottanasana and then back into reverse warrior. All the time keeping that stability in the feet and the lower body, and it's our arms and our torso that's sort of moving a bit here. Just playing with these shapes. Great. And then the next time we come into reverse warrior, let's stay there. We can bring the arm onto the back 5 we prefer, or we can bring the arm forward. 2 breaths. Great. And then come into side angle, arm reaching all the way alongside the ear, turning the chest towards the ceiling. Okay. 2 breaths, well done, that's great. And then slowly coming up, straightening the front leg, and let's just heel toe the foot in a little bit and come into Trikonasana. So coming, bringing the right arm onto the shin and then lifting left arm up. Again, turn. 2 breaths here. Great. And then coming all the way up. And then we're going to turn our feet and do the same on the other side. So we might need to widen our stance again. The warrior 2. Bring the hands onto the chest. Having this sense of connecting with this sort of deep energy, earth or ocean. And then radiate the arms out. And then let's play with the arms a little bit. So coming into reverse, and then Parsvottanasana, and then reversing the warrior, and then Parsvottanasana. Couple more times. So our arm muscles are having to work here, which is no bad thing. And then let's stay in the reverse warrior for a few breaths. Great, and then coming into side angle. And if it's in your practice to bring the hand down to the foot, that's fine, but Just make sure you don't collapse in the chest if you do that. So what I mean by that is if you bring your hand in and then the chest collapses down to the mat, it's much better to just have your hand resting, arm resting on the thigh, so that the chest can start to turn upwards. 2 more breaths. Great. And then bring the arm down. And then this time, rather than swiveling, oh no, we need to do Trikonasana, almost forgot. Okay, so coming back up, heel toe into Trikonasana. Lengthening and bringing back arm up. 2 breaths here. Great, and bring the arm down. And this time, we're going to bend the front knee a little bit, swivel on that back foot so that we come up onto the ball of the foot. And then bring the hands down, step back into downward dog and make the adjustments with the feet so that the feet are parallel. And then just walking out our legs again. And again, we're going to come into either knees, chest and chin, and then cobra, or if you want to now, you could bring the chest forward into a plank. You might hold that for a couple of breaths, or you can do knees, chest and chin as we did earlier, and then lowering yourself down and scooping up into up dog or cobra, and then back into downward dog. Great, you're all doing brilliantly, I can see. Let's do 2 more of those, either knees, chest and chin, or plank. Up dog and down dog. Last one. And then we're just going to take a pause, so bringing the knees down, feet, toes can come together, wide-legged child's pose, keeping the arms active, so lifting the forearms, stretching the fingers back, forward rather, and lifting the arms, so you really feel the shoulders getting a good stretch, the upper back, hips, buttocks moving back towards the heels if possible. If that's difficult, just put a bit of support behind your buttocks. Coming into this deeper breath again, if you've lost the thread of it. So that's sighing, that inner sigh through the nose. And then keeping the arms lifted, walking the hands towards the left. Stretching that right side of the body out. Right side of the torso. And then walking the hands back to centre. And then over to the right. Still keeping the arms lifted. Feeling the stretch along the left side. And then hands back to centre. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly walking the hands back. And then, as this class is called Deep Like the Ocean, I thought we needed to do the boat pose today. So we're just going to come onto our buttocks as best we can. So it involves us really balancing on our buttocks, which isn't always so easy, our sitting bones really. And bending the knees, and then you might want to put the hands behind the knees just to support them. And then see if you can lift your feet. And then first of all, let's just practice bringing one foot up and down. You can just do a sort of moving boat. Great. So you want a gentle engagement through the abdominals. So this might be what you do. This is quite a nice moving the boat. You could then try just keeping the shins parallel with the floor, and then activating the feet. This might be enough. You might then decide you bring your arms stretched forward, palms facing each other. And then you also then might try straightening your legs. And that's a strong stretch. Keep trying to lift through the chest so that the back is straight, chest engaged and lifted. Great, well done, keep breathing. And then going back to the half boat again, half Navasana. And then you can bring the hands behind the knees again, and you can come back to just bringing the toes onto the ground. That's quite nice. Well done, that's a hard pose to do. And then keeping this engagement with the core, we're going to actually rock back to the ground really, really slowly. Okay, so we're going to go really slowly, lift the arms, and really go slow. So there'll come a point when the back will just want to, a bit like something rolling down a hill, it'll just want to go faster. But try and really control it and keep that engagement through the abdominals to really slowly roll down so that each bone comes down really, really slowly. Great. And then the head comes down last of all. And then bring the hands for a moment onto the belly. Take a breath or two. And then to stretch out the abdominals, we can just do a few hip raises. So bring the hands down onto the mat. And as you inhale, just lifting the hips, pressing the feet into the ground, lifting the hips and stretching the belly. And then release down. Doing a few more of those. Pressing the feet into the ground, using the muscles of the legs to lift the hips, lift the back, and then release again. So a few more of these. Last one, and on this last one, let's see if we can stay up for a little while. So you could bring the shoulders under, sort of tuck them under a little bit. You could interlace your fingers behind your buttocks, or you could hold the sides of your mat. And then see if you can really press into the earth and lift the hips a little bit more, keeping the chin tucked towards the chest. And a few breaths here. Last breath. And then slowly releasing down. And then let's just come into happy baby. So bringing our knees towards us and then lift the feet. And we might just take hold of the ankles to begin with. Try and keep the sacrum down if you can. And try and keep your shoulders down and your head. So I could take hold of my toes, but that might mean that I wriggle my shoulders and head up. So then I cause a bit of tension here. So better to just hold the ankles or the inner feet or outer feet, wherever you can reach really. And then you could rock a little bit from side to side, really opening through the pelvis, and through the abdominals, and it's a good deep stretch for the hips, inner groins, and the thighs. You can either move a little bit rocking, or you can stay still. Breathing down deep into the belly. Sending the breath there, deepening the breath. Two more breaths. You might be getting a bit shaky in the legs now as the energy releases. Great. And then bring the knees together. And then just circle them away from each other and back together again a few times. Just easing out the sensations. And then go the other way. And then bring the knees together and just draw some small circles around your sacrum, just massaging that area. Again, both directions. And then let the feet come to the ground. And then just let the knees drop from side to side a few times. And the torso could move into the opposite direction, and the head, the gaze. So it's a fluid twist. We're targeting the hip area with the knees a bit lower. If you find you want to just rest for a moment on one side, then feel free to do that. Breathing into the twist. And if you do that, not forgetting to do that on the other side. And then bringing the knees back to center and stretching your legs out for Shavasana. And just have a quick look and make sure that you're straight on your mat. I've gone a bit skew-wick, so just make sure you're straight, and then you can let the feet widen a little bit. You can let the feet drop away from each other. You could either bring your hands alongside the body, or you could place them on the belly. And letting the shoulders and the back spread out on the mat. Let the legs become heavy, and the arms. And tuning in again to your breath. this inner sigh, this longer exhale. Letting that longer exhale really anchor you in awareness, anchor you deeper into the body. And let the head and the face, and the area all around the eyes and the mouth, letting that soften as best you can. And then as you lie here in the depths, I'm going to read you a poem called Oceans by Juan Ramon Jimenez. I have a feeling that my boat has struck down there in the depths against a great thing, and nothing happens. Nothing. Silence, waves. Nothing happens, or has everything happened? And are we standing now, quietly, in the new life? I have a feeling that my boat has struck down there in the depths against a great thing, and nothing happens. Nothing. Silence, waves. Nothing happens, or has everything happened? And are we standing now, quietly, in the new life? As you hear the bell, just starting to move towards the surface, bringing some small movements back into fingers and toes, stretching hands and feet, stretching arms and legs. And you can slowly open your eyes. You can bring both feet onto the ground, or you could just roll from your side and lying down, but just resting on your side for just a short time. And then you can slowly come up from there. And we'll just finish with just a moment or two of breathing. Just pausing before whatever we need to do next, so that we can take something of this stillness, this quietness, this depth of the ocean with us into the rest of our day. And then slowly opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks to Gavravati for being the tech, and also she was doing the yoga, which is always nice to have somebody here doing yoga. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, we offer all these classes as a sort of freely given offering, and we really hope that you are able to partake of them and enjoy them. If you are able to and you have the means to, it really helps us if you can donate to the class. It just means that we can carry on offering them during this time, and I know they've been quite a lifeline to people in different ways. So Gavravati will put a box, she'll add a little box, a donation box, and if you want to, please do give. And yeah, I hope that the rest of your day goes really well, and I hope to see you all soon.